Hey YouTube, welcome to my next Ipotane video. I have the retopologized mesh here on the screen. So I'm going to briefly show you the skin texture that I put on it, and I use Substance Painter to get this. It's just a basic skin texture, and I just applied it to the whole model. So I wanted to show you that first, and then the rest of this video will be discussing how I got the rest of the hair particles on the model. Here you can see I'm adding particle system. They start off really long and spread around the whole body. So I used pre-made vertex groups, which I've shown in other videos. I didn't show in this one, but I pre-painted the vertex groups with weight painting. And as I go through the video, you'll see how I edit the hair particles after I add them to the vertex group. So here I made them thinner hairs, and they're shorter than they start out. And then I just play with some of the hair settings to get them to look like they're spread evenly, and I'll add some shape here in a minute. Okay, now I'm adding a material to the body hair particles, and on the left side over there on the screen you can see I added a sphere, and the reason for that is in order to keep the material for the hair particles around, you have to make an object that stores that material, and just having it applied to hair particles will not keep it around. I don't want to apply the material to the body itself because I had just applied that texture to it, and I don't want to overwrite that. So you have to make a separate object, copy the material from the hair to that object, and then you can just hide that object to keep the properties safe. All right here you're just I'm just showing adding extra hair particles. Sometimes the hairs are drawn inside of the mesh, and instead of dealing with them all right away, you can just add extra hairs sometimes. So you can see there's quite a few patches where there is no hair showing through. So to fix those, I just either add more, or I will sculpt the existing hair back to the outside using X-ray mode and the particle system editor. Here I'm just using the add tool in particle edit mode, and I'm adding hair particles wherever it looks like there's gaps or areas where you can see that the hair particles are kind of sticking into the mesh. In this process, you just have to get back in and out of your previews and see how they look, because it's not always easy to tell what it's doing within the particle edit mode. So you'll see me tab back in and out of the different modes to see if I fixed the issue. All right, here you're seeing a little more progress, a lot less missing patches. Obviously, after getting the hair pulled out of the body, it can still look lumpy and have some other weird effects, so it takes a lot of time going through the settings to make it look good. but in the end it's worth it because you can't really get a more realistic look than the real hair. Okay, so here is what the hair looks like after all of the settings have been updated and a lot of brushing the hair particles. So to show the rest of the hair particles, here is the model. So to add the hair to her head and her tail, I actually used physics. So what you're seeing now is I'm running the physics simulation on the hair, and then I will stop it on the last frame and keep that one, which you'll see here in just a second. And that's what defines the shape of the hair on her head and her tail. And then after that, I'll enable the body hair and the hair on her face that we just built. Okay, so here's the model without any of the hairs. I have to apply them after I run the simulation. Otherwise, if you turn on and off the preview mode for the different hair systems, it seems to wipe the hair simulation. So I have to do the simulation first and then turn everything back on. So that's what you're seeing here. And the reason it takes so long is all these hair particles use a whole lot of information, and it has to be stored in the GPU's video RAM. So you have to click them and just wait for a while. All right, so here's a couple quick renders of what the hair system looks like after all. In the next video, I'm going to get to some animation, and I'm going to build a walk cycle that uses the particle physics for the hair to react to her walking realistically. Thanks for watching.